Well. How is Vince McMahon gonna wiggle his way out of this one? Now, apparently, Vince McMahon is in some deep water, stemming from those same allegations that I was talking about over a year ago. But this time, after the merger of UFC and WWE to become Endeavor, with the TKO Holdings Group, it looks like Vince McMahon's position within the brand new company could be in jeopardy. And this is according to the LA Times, who spoke with, I don't want to get his name or title wrong here because it's a big one, so let's read this off here. Jacob Frankel, chair of Dickinson Wright's Government Investigations and Securities Enforcement Practice Group and a former senior counsel in the SEC's Division of Enforcement. He had this to say. Well, let me not quote him directly. It wasn't clear whether the quote came directly from him, but it was clear that he suggested to the LA Times that Vince McMahon's position could be in a lot of jeopardy. Let's read that now. Depending on the potential findings following the inquiry into Vince McMahon, McMahon could face criminal and/or civil liabilities that could prevent him from serving as an officer or director of a public company. And when things like this happen in the big companies, when they are exposed to the public, typically CEOs and people in those types of positions are forced to step down most of the time. And honestly, this would not really be something that would ruin the morale backstage. I'll say that. Ever since Vince started showing his face again and making more decisions, morale has gone down. And this isn't me bashing Vince McMahon. This is just facts. Like we can't sit here and just act like things don't get worse when he comes around. They do. People like Hunter in charge. Vince McMahon was the reason that Stephanie McMahon walked away from the company, and Stephanie McMahon was very popular with all the employees. Tried to get to know most of them by name, understand things about them, really care about them as people. Once Vince McMahon came back, she could not take it anymore for whatever reason, and she departed. And now Vince McMahon, once again, is up against the wall. Now here's the thing about Vince. I would say don't get too excited, because Vince McMahon, man, that dude's a bad MFer, man. He has a way of just staying alive no matter what. It's kind of entertaining, honestly, to watch him continue to dodge controversy after controversy. I mean, starting with the steroid trial of the freaking 90s, Like, since then, he's been dodging every bullet that's been coming his way, and he has stayed in power in World Wrestling Entertainment. But could this be the one? Could this be the one that finally breaks the camel's back? Oh man, it's going to be interesting to see this thing play out. I know a lot of WWE employees would be happy. Some wouldn't. Some really like Vince McMahon. Some are in that, that circle, I guess, that group of people who really love Vince McMahon, and they have every right to, because Vince McMahon made their careers. You got people like Austin, The Rock, legends of the sort. Brock Lesnar is openly one of them who loves Vince McMahon. It makes sense. He really made them, into what they are today. The reason that they're rich, the reason that they can buy almost anything they want, the reason that The Rock is, the most sought after and highest paid actor in the world is because of the start that he got in Vince's company. So I don't expect them to ever turn their backs on Vince McMahon, and honestly, I can respect the fact that they won't. But that doesn't change the fact there's a lot of employees right now who are just trying to work, who were not necessarily made by Vince McMahon, and they don't like the way that he operates the company. So it's like a big, tug of war thing, and everybody's just waiting on the results of an investigation to determine what the next steps are going to be. And so are we. So I will have the next chapter of this Vince McMahon saga whenever it's available, but this is where we are at today. I will see you guys in the next episode.